All right, cyber traders, good morning and welcome on back. Of course, this is not Fausto, but for all of us on social media, at least Facebook Live and YouTube, my name is Josh Levitan, and welcome on back here this Friday morning, June 18th, shortly after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Great to see everybody. And of course, for all of us live inside the trading room, Michael, Alan, Grant, Patrick, Debbie, Stefan, Ray, Norman, all of our students, of course, live inside Cyber. Welcome on back. So, without further ado, let's hop right into the thick of things. For anyone on social media, rather, allow me to say, Fausto is actually out. He's attending his son's graduation this morning. He had said his younger son. He didn't inform me if it was Alex, Max, or Lucas. So congratulations to Fausto's son. He'll be back later on this afternoon, though. Nonetheless, though, let's hop right into it. And, I'll tell you, I didn't really know how to start things off this morning because there's nothing to really talk about. That's really it. So, we're coming off the Fed meeting this week. Things have been slow within the market. And I had that in mind. So I said, let me go back on the 5-minute chart here. Let me look at the SPY. And this actually catches my eye. It's a pretty interesting pattern. So you know what? We're going to start on this. And for all of us live inside the trading room, how about this one? For all of us that were a part of the Phase 1 stock course this week, we actually just covered this pattern to a pretty good degree. Looking at the S&P ETF here, the SPY on my 5-minute chart, for the most part, I mean, this is a pretty clean pattern. What does this look like? Maybe you can call it one or two things, perhaps, but otherwise, this is a pretty clear pattern on the 5-minute chart for the S&P ETF. I want to see if you folks can get it here. A couple of us saying pennant, Randy and Lynette, but I see Debbie saying inverse head and shoulders. That's exactly what I had in mind. So really quick, I don't know, just food for thought, perhaps, if that actually holds and, we end up seeing a bit of a move up after the market opens. It would be interesting to follow some sideless stocks, perhaps, maybe like the Palantirs of the world. Who knows, maybe the Reddit stocks will move back up, in a healthy market, but we'll check back in with those stocks in just a moment. But you could see the shoulder, the head, the shoulder. I don't know. Thought that was pretty interesting. But nonetheless, though, we have TRCH here going into the market open. I put this on our pre-market list. I opened up the trading room pretty early today and ended up putting this one of just few stocks on the pre-market list. Like, otherwise, aside from that, pattern, there wasn't really much for me to start with here going into this meeting. So, TRCH ended up making a bit of a drop off from yesterday, from the day before. It was a big move from the end of last week and going into this week. So for what it's worth, it's trading 1.3 million shares right now. It's not up a whole lot, but I don't mind just slipping this on our main list to begin. And if we end up having a really big list, I'll kind of kick it off if it doesn't really look as good compared to the others. But for right now, why not? The stock has a tight spread, good liquidity on the book. It's likely going to be one that we would call out anyway. That's kind of where I'm getting to. It's cheap. So for right now, definitely we'll put this stock on our main watch list for the meantime. All right, so a stock otherwise I want to get to at least, then we'll really go from top to bottom. It's number 4 on the gainers list, but it's starting to make a bit of a move up right now, and I'm a little pissed about that. But, the ANPC stock, I mean, for what it's worth, again, this, pre-market was very flat, slow, not a whole lot going on, some false pops, and nothing I was really a big fan of. So I was starting to line up my charts here, and you don't see it on this screen. It's on my other monitor. But I ended up putting a whole bunch of lines on my ANPC chart, 5, 550, 6. There was a lot of volume filled off of 508, 509 in particular, and that's what I called out live inside the trading room. All right, well, I jumped in the trade. I ended up going scratch on my first trade. I got in right from 509. It wasn't going anywhere. I didn't want it to break down on me. I just said, whatever, and just break even. No problem. I jumped back in at 510 because I saw it right away start to move back up. And I was like, oh, damn, all right, it's going to make the move up. So I jump in, and again, it doesn't go anywhere. And here we are now. So for anyone that follows me in the afternoon meetings here, at least on social media, you know that I don't like to look like a jerk, holding on to a trade as it makes a big move up, then big move down. I don't like to waste a profit at all, but nonetheless on this trade, I just said, I'm going to go into this meeting without any trades, here. And here we are. It would have worked out at least. But, for right now, ANPC, I'm a little afraid of what the float is on this stock. I can't really tell. I don't really have a number. But this stock just trades low volume. This stock trades, 500,000 shares per day, less on average. So for right now, trading 6.1 million shares, it could be very well exhausted out. It's only up 20% at the same time. We see stocks that are like moving this much or, trading this much volume that are up like way more. So, perhaps there could be more to come after the market opens up on this stock. But yeah, for right now, we'll at least put this on our list. So those were the real two that I wanted to talk about. Nothing really from yesterday like ended up making a big rate move. Nothing that was like, refrigerator material, so to say. We have from Trent asking top picks today. Well, we're going to get to that just right now. Good morning as well. So, I wanted to recap one or two things at least, but otherwise, here we go. So we're going to go from top to bottom. This was already number 4, like, whatever, 3, 4 here. CAI, I should just skip over right away. It's a buyout, it looks like. Just very flat here after the spike up. So that's my assumption. Just, I'm not going to trade it. SYKE could be the same thing. Very flat as well, only trading 75,000 shares, those so far. The UTME trade I also put on the pre-market list. This was like one of like 3 or 4, like I said. So let me get the news on this stock because I actually forgot to report to you folks the news on that ANPC stock. I actually had it up on my Benzinga Pro. It looks like first disease treatment patient news for ANPC there. I don't know what, I guess in regards to a cancer treatment project, that's all they list there. But for UTME, let's get the news on this one at least. It's up 20+%. Oh man, of course for this one, it just says no news to justify the price action. I swear, that's too funny. The one I didn't report at first, I wanted to give you the news, and this one I said, all right, I'll make it up. And there's no news on this one. Benzinga specifically says no news to like justify the move or price action. So nonetheless, hey, we'll take it though. I mean, it's trading just at 3 million shares, just about. It has a 3.75 million share float. So if the stars align, if smart money wants to push this up after, it's going to be for a fast move. And it's going to be for a quick move too. So what I mean by that is like fast in the sense of moving up very quickly per minute, but quick in the sense of short-lived, I should rather say. So, this is the type of stock that's going to be like a pop and drop type of play. You could just see from the last 2 days, did exactly that. So it has a lot of volatility. It like reminds me of ORPH a lot, and we'll get to that as that's like number 2 on the losers list. But for right now, I'll put this on our main watch list so far, the UTME stock. Again, there's not going to be a whole lot really that I'm going to be a fan of here so far across the gainers and losers, and that was one of them at least so far early. And this one was probably, I think, the last one also, GERN. And this one, at least I'm more familiar with just over the years. We've traded the stock off of news and pops and so forth. It's had a tight spread. It's always been like a cheaper stock between like, $1 to $5 or so. I can go back more. I'm not going to, but just, take my word. The stock at least has always been relatively inexpensive, had great liquidity on the book, even more now than ever, it seems like. But yeah, for right now, it's up 15%. It popped in the after hours, still pulling back down. So you might have to wait a little bit for support to build, perhaps even off 150. It's trending down leading into the market open. So even if it pops after 9:30, don't be surprised if it pulls back down lower. So this might be more of like a late morning, early afternoon move. And if not, then we'll just react to it from there. But, just follow the trend leading into the open. I say that for any stock. So, for right now, this is definitely more of like a level 1 stock for anything, like any of our new students looking to trade a slower stock. This might almost be too slow, but, on the spectrum, this definitely is like the slower side. So. And this on the flip side, I mean, needless to be said, EDSA. So, this one again, like we kind of put on our list. I think that was pretty much it, right? We had GERN, UTME, ANPC, and TRCH. Those were the so this one didn't make the pre-market list. I called it out right away after. That was it. So this one ended up making the pop shortly after 8 o'clock. I put the list out early. Ended up pulling back down though, as you could see. So it's not making that great of a move right now again. And in, looking at the daily chart, you could just see like history repeats itself here on these pops. These are definitely like the pop and drop types of pop and drop type of stocks here that otherwise you don't want to hold overnight. So for right now, we'll put this on our list. It's a day trade, EDSA. Hopefully the spreads fill in more, the order book fills in more. All right, that's it. That's it from pre-market, at least. There's nothing else I'm going to say that's like, oh yeah, that's what we looked at in pre-market. That's like all we had. METX, not much going on there. EDU was from yesterday. So the stock ended up making a big drop off over the last, like, God knows how long. But, you know, I was saying, like, just be careful around $8. I think I'd mentioned from yesterday, or that may have been even from the day prior. But, you know, ended up diving off after the market opened up yesterday, at least. And for right now, it's getting that push back up again. So, you know, could this be the squeeze? Could this be the day where we end up seeing the shorts begin to cover going into the end of the week? We'll find out. But, you know, for right now, EDU still fairly active, you know, only up 4%, but 780,000 shares traded. So I don't mind slipping this on our list specifically. This and the TAL will trade together. I'm going to put this on our list, whereas TAL might not have as much volume on the books. So, you know, I'll just, you know, one over the other. All right, Randy, look at you, man. UTME, he ended up catching 30 cents on that trade right now. He got in from 1951 live inside the Cyber Group room. Excellent job, Randy. Let me go to that trade again. Got time. Oh, nice. Ended up kind of building up, right? Higher lows, pushed up, and essentially broke above resistance from the chart. I don't have my level 4 up for the trade, but pretty flat right off 1950. So technically off the slingshot from 1950, it's beginning to move up. But Randy had a good price. Got in right from 1931. Excellent. All right, cool. ORPH, we're going to hop over to the losers list here, folks. ORPH moving up, but this thing got clobbered overnight. I mean, this thing's like a roller coaster. Every day, this thing like pumped up, drop back down, pumped up, drop back down. So we're going to put it on our list. It's a day trade, right? I mean, it presents great opportunity. Stock's down 49% still. So why can't the stock pop, you know, $1, $2, try and fill the gap there a bit? I mean, it ended up making a very similar move, if not mistaken, yesterday, no? Caught this off 13. Yeah, that's right. We caught this exactly off 13. I left a fortune on the table. I got out at 13.55, but, you know, stock ended up flying right back on up. Holy smokes, like moved all the way up, like back up instantaneously. So again, presents great opportunity if the stars could align. For right now, the cheaper it gets, in my opinion, and it's not a constant rule of thumb, but you know, it's just one that you want to kind of look for. Where the stock drops in price more and more, you'll tend to see the liquidity kind of fill in here on the order book more, compared to how it was trading back when it was, you know, a $15, $20 stock the last 2 days, and $75 stock here. But yeah, ORPH definitely. ATHA got clobbered here too. Pharma company, so you'd assume like bad pharma news, like bad drug, or, you know, maybe not FDA approval. If I'm not mistaken, and, you know, for anyone live inside the trading room, you folks correct me if I'm wrong, because I know I posted the news earlier. Just going off the top of my head, and I just want to kind of finish up the meeting here. But ATHA, I think it was that the CEO resigned, or he took a temporary leave, a sudden temporary leave, and I mean, if that's the news alone, man, this thing got really hit. 42% plus down. Stock is shortable too, so, you know, it presents great opportunity both ways. So if it ends up providing more on the way down, we could try and short it. Otherwise, for as much down as it is, you know, we could try and begin to look for a dead cat bounce at some point after the market opens. All right, so let's see what else we got here, folks. 9:13 is the time. Making it quick. Good. I'll tell you not to be lazy, or, you know, I'm just kind of skimming through. I know it at this point. There's nothing else really from this losers list that looks good. All right, so folks, let me know if there's anything up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you would want me to look at, check out just before we finish up. That ANPC trade pulled back down to my 508, 509. Actually bounced right off there. ORPH is pushing up actually right now. It's making that squeeze as we speak the last 2 minutes. So it's already on our list. Just want to comment on it. Good gap fill opportunity, that's for sure, at least from the overnight drop. All right. Well, I'll tell you, expectedly so. I got nothing, and that's true. I mean, we have a lot of us joining us on social media today, Facebook Live and YouTube. And again, I appreciate you folks sticking with me each and every afternoon. But of course, here in the morning, covering for Fausto. He'll be back just on Monday again for anyone joining late. He was attending his son's graduation here this morning, so just subbing in for him here. All right. So I'll be back in for you folks at least going into the afternoon for all of us in the trading room. Wendy, Pat, I'll be talking to you later. Grant, Ray, and all of us live. Otherwise, I'll be joining you folks just coming up at 9:30 here. All right. I'll talk to you soon.